Fighters Rep 5 Unified Strikers. Saturday, February 2nd at the Ames Sportsplex in Seal Beach, California. Tickets now on sale at fightersrep.com.
Ladies and gentlemen. It's all good.
What kind of case is that? Is that a...
Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, we're here with Raging. Raging. Blackhouse striking coach.
Yep.
One of a few, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay, so you were telling me before we got into this, and I appreciate your time sitting down with us here, Rage.
My pleasure, thank you.
You've been integral in having some bad mother flowers on our cards. Daniel Arpahan,
Yep.
You brought out Blake Troop. You know, I greatly appreciate some of these fighters you're working with. So you were telling me something about Blackhouse before I turned this thing on. Let me know about Blackhouse. What's going on over there?
So originally, Blackhouse was not ever intended to be a gym. It was an invite only, friends and family location for the superstars. You had the Nogueira brothers, Anderson Silva, and Lyoto Machida. And so they were kind of the first generation. Yeah. Then the second generation was friends and family invited in. And Kevin Casey, Pedro Munoz, James Moonwalker, and they all went through the UFC. And now we're on the third and fourth generation. And now it's become more structured. Kenny Johnson has been there from day one. Mm-hmm. He's kind of the head coach, wrestling coach. And then everyone kind of had their own striking coaches, and it was kind of piecemeal together.
Gotcha,
you know.
gotcha.
But now it's becoming more structured, more of a team.
I think that's kind of like American Top Team. They're like that, kind of, right?
Maybe. I don't really know how they're structured.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of trying to figure out how we're structured.
I got you. Well, whatever it is you're doing, you know, it seems to be working. Who are the guys you're working with in particular?
Right now, Danny Arpajon.
The Raging Bull.
The Raging Bull. And Fighters Rep Cruiserweight Champion.
And State Champion.
State Champion. Blake Troop. And...
Animal.
Yeah. And
I like Blake.
Drake Bowen. Mm-hmm. And probably Craig Wilkerson.
Okay.
So... I work in boxing quite a bit, and I like the way trainers in boxing work. I just wish we had the financing to do it that way in MMA.
Yeah.
A lot of one-on-one intention, a lot, but there's even more to learn in MMA than in boxing. So,
what's the financial difference that you're talking about? Because a lot of people watching this are going to be like, well, what's...
Oh, anywhere from 10 to 1 to 100 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Mid-level guys that are making, let's say, 6 and 6 in the UFC. Mm-hmm. So 6,000 to win or to show, and then an additional 6,000. So that's 12 grand total if they win. Comparable in boxing, they'd be making 50, 60, 70 grand.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and that's people that you don't know their names, they're not promoted. Right? And a lot of that has to do with the Ali Act, which hopefully is going to be amended. Hopefully that'll be amended soon. It was passed with 16 sponsors, and there's over 52 sponsors now for the amendment.
And what is the amendment that you're talking about?
So the Ali Act, there's a couple things. Like right now, the UFC, they are promoter and sanctioning body.
Right.
Where in boxing, they're separate. So the rankings are controlled by a sanctioning body. The belts are controlled by a sanctioning body. And the promoters bid to put the fight on, right? Where the UFC kind of controls everything.
Yeah.
So that the language is going to be, or should be, amended so that it includes combat sports and not just boxing.
Gotcha.
So there's
and you think
legal
UFC
protections for boxing that don't apply to any other kickboxing, MMA.
And you think there'll be more money for the fighters if this happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Because,
for sure. But I feel like the sort of counter for that is, some boxers do get, I guess, mid-level boxers like you're talking about, they get paid well. But then you've got, the guys fighting for like nothing.
Right.
A lot of those,
And in boxing, there's promoters of the boxers that pay to be put on someone else's card.
True that.
So it's even negative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
and then I just feel like the investment is not
I agree.
there like it is with the UFC.
Nobody has it figured out.
Yeah.
That's kind of the world right now, too, right?
Yeah.
It's like the extreme wealth gap.
So what got you into training into the sport?
I fought. During the Dark Ages. So from 97 to 2001.
Scary times.
It was illegal where I was in New York City. And so, I mean, I was a fighter. And, I was naive back then.
Boxing, kickboxing, MMA.
MMA. Back then it was no holds barred. Or Valley Tudo. I honestly thought that MMA was going to change boxing, not boxing change MMA. Because I thought, so the rules that I fought under, sometimes there's no time, or there was one round, and right, no biting, no eye gouging, no groin shots, everything else cool. And if you didn't win, you both lost. No judges. Yeah. So if you didn't finish your fight, fuck you, go home.
Damn.
Now, those are my standards. I bring that in. Like, my goal for 2019 is to never go in the cage. To corner my fighters, one bell, not the second bell, because we're done. Finish it in the first round.
Wow.
Finish your fight.
Wow.
5 minutes is actually a long time.
Yeah.
Right? You think about how many punches you can throw, how many elbows you can drop in 5 minutes. It's taking you guys so long. Come on, let's get it.
I love it.
But also, you'll hear a lot of people talk that way, but you watch my fighters.
Oh yeah,
we fight that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So, since Troop's been with me, he's honored that. He's a one bell fighter. The bell rings, he goes and wins. I don't have to say shit. I don't have to go in the cage.
I love it. I fucking love it, man. Daniel Arpahan is right up your alley.
He's coming, but he's an amateur. We gotta clean up his technique.
Yeah. But man,
the other thing is
he goes after it.
Danny doesn't like cats.
Why not?
I don't know. He's got some problems.
But he goes after it, man.
Yeah, man. Well, that's both Troop and I. Well, okay, we can work with that.
Yeah,
we can work with that.
Yeah.
I can take a fighter and teach them to be an athlete. Can't do the inverse.
I see.
I have elite level athletes. You're not a fighter.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So then they get up, and they start getting really hit in the face. Oh, maybe I don't want to do this. No, maybe you don't.
Anyone else we should be looking out for? That
Drake Bowen.
Yeah.
He's sorry, Drake. He's either 135 or 145.
Yeah.
I always. That's the other thing. I'm not a big fan of weight cutting. I think it's stupid. Actually, I know it's stupid. I make my guys speak science, real science. Like, read the studies. We are accountable to the scientific process. So things like big weight cuts, That's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. So we don't do it. So a lot of my guys, it's like, wait, what weight are you? You're going up? You going up?
Blake was, I interviewed Blake not too long ago.
Okay.
He told me he got down to like 185, 170. Dude, that guy's huge.
That was before me, right?
But he's huge.
I think when Troop first met me, I don't think he liked me. Because the first thing I said to him was, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You're 6'4". He had a picture of him hanging out with Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, and I think maybe Rampage. And I'm like, do you notice who the biggest guy in that picture is?
He's
and
big,
you're cutting to 170, you crazy motherfucker. But because he did it with nutrition, and it was kind of like, well, I can do it. You can, and you did. But you're better at 205.
Yeah.
So.
And since he's been, working with you, it's been, I mean, he's got, 4 straight wins now?
Something like
Maybe
that.
more? Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm sure he's knocking on the UFC's door at this point. I think so. I mean, until he got hurt. I think 4 straight wins in LFA. We're probably talking about, hey, Dana,
and not just wins.
Oh, yeah.
Dominant, out there. Everyone knows that Troop's a grappler. Everyone knows don't grapple with Troop. Yeah. They get hit once, and they grab, and they panic, and they grab, and they grapple it because they don't. I still can't find tie pads that are actually thick enough or big enough to work with, to actually let him.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've been doing this I've been working with tie pads for 25, 30 years. And he's got the strength and conditioning, which my guys, we have that advantage because I'm an expert in biomechanics. He has a degree in exercise science. We do it right. So we're bringing in that science, and then traditional Muay Thai.
Savage.
At 205. Well, most of the time he's 215, 220. And it's just okay, we need better equipment, and I'm getting older in the joints, and
well, you still look jacked though. What are you weighing now, Rich?
I'm somewhere around 215-ish.
Okay. And what did you fight at? What weight?
I was light heavy.
Oh, okay.
Usually fought around 194, 204, somewhere.
Gotcha.
I was usually, because weight classes back then.
Yeah.
And so I was usually somewhere around 200-ish, and the guys that I was fighting somewhere around 250, 220, 250-ish.
So Blake is a savage.
Yeah. I'm really pleased. And
Blackhouse, you were telling me, went from this sort of like private thing to now.
It was invite only, and it still is, but we are building more of a team than what it was before.
Now, how many locations are there? Because I'm a little bit confused.
So there's so the professional only gym is where we all are.
Gotcha.
Then there's schools that are licensed or franchised. Right?
Gotcha.
That's Redondo Beach, Miami, Mexico City. I think there might be a couple more coming up, but
gotcha.
Yeah, everyone gets confused about that, and it is kind of. But the headquarters is professional only,
and that's in Gardena,
and that's secret.
Okay, somewhere around there. Okay, gotcha.
Gardena, Compton. Yeah.
Gotcha. And who else? I mean, I've seen pictures with Lyoto and stuff like that. I mean, who else is working out there when you guys are out there?
So people that you would. So you got, the Machitas that you would know. We have Kona, who's fighting in Bellator tomorrow night. He is a new, younger professional. Shaman Moraes just fought in the UFC, split the dude's blood everywhere. Nice elbow. Who else? Sean Strickland comes in quite a bit. And then we get some of the Quest boys that come in with him. Sam Alvey was just in sparring with. So Fridays, that's the other thing. Fridays, we kind of have open sparring.
I see. So Team Quest comes up to you, to all the way to guard.
I wouldn't say Team Quest. I'd say some of the more colorful characters from Team Quest.
Sam Alvey's colorful for sure.
and he's as good a dude as he looks. Like that smile is actually authentic. You know, I really like him. I've only met him a few times, but you know, so Fridays are so much fun. Yeah, like, and you never know. Like today, almost nobody was there because everyone's in Hawaii, and it was great for me and my guys because it was like we got the gym to ourselves, and I get to. But then the last couple Fridays was just like
the elite, like the elite of the elite.
Oh, and like when Volkov's in town, or Shlemenko, and Tiger, and so it just keeps going and keeps going, and it's nice because you kind of get to see. All right, well, this guy's not in the UFC yet, so like there's a whole slew of guys that are in LFA. Kalen Hill, who's just
I saw that. Yeah, he's an animal,
and he's been on the ESPN.
Oh yeah,
3 times in a row. I'm like, wait, that's a record, right? That's like so, but
that's crazy,
like, and each time it's a faster and faster knockout. We're playing with.
Is he taking tips from you?
He doesn't need to.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to.
Well, I mean, the whole methodology.
We play together, right?
Yeah.
You know, Moses Marietta, he was in, and so I'm sitting there going, you know, shit, we should charge admission for some of this stuff because Moses Marietta and Kalen Hill sparring, and I'm looking at both their coaches, going, should they be doing this right now? Like, and let's like. This should happen.
Yeah.
3 years from now in the UFC, and this should be the fucking title fight, you know.
And I mean, by sparring, I mean, are these people they're not? Are they being light? Are they going at each other? What's going on Fridays?
So what I consider hard sparring, people consider reckless. So I would say responsible sparring, and I think most people would say it's hard sparring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's never any. It's been years since there's been any bad blood or misunderstandings, or it's professional. Okay. It's very, that's part of why we're there.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
The thing that kind of scares me about that, I mean, as a promoter, is that I put all these guys on my cards, especially in the amateurs. It's a nightmare. You put the guys on the card a week before the fight. I got hurt, this and that. I tweaked my knee during sparring.
Yeah.
Is there like a way to kind of go maybe a little bit lighter just before a fight, or do
absolutely?
I mean,
and you absolutely should, right? And that's the head coach's job to taper and control, and so when guys run the full camp, we have a cage, and it's like, okay, the cage is, so like when Shaman just went, every Friday you knew, okay, Shaman gets the cage because he's in the UFC 3 weeks from now. Yeah. Right? And as you get closer, you're wearing more headgear and scheduling the sparring partners and controlling it, right?
Like it, yeah.
But, and then there's just accidents happen. Yeah. But, and then the other advantage that my guys have is because I have the boxing connection, we get to box with some of the best fighters in the world.
I saw that. I saw that on Instagram. Yeah. I think I saw you guys were working with, I think it was Joe Hanks. Joe Hanks.
Yep. Mike Lee sometimes. And then a lot of other professionals that you wouldn't necessarily... Yeah. Joe Hanks, you wouldn't necessarily know who he was either, except he was just on the Wilder card and just got knocked out.
It happens.
Especially when... How big was Joe Joyce?
Dude, that guy's a monster, man.
Jesus. Is that a person?
I mean, when you posted that, I think I responded.
Yeah,
like, that's a big boy.
Yeah, and I think they just chose them alphabetically, right? Joe Joyce, Joe Hanks,
Probably
H-I-J, right? No, I'm kidding. But our Joe Hanks did great, and listen, when you drop a truck on somebody's face,
that's heavyweight. I mean,
yeah,
it's heavyweight.
It's heavyweight, and that's how it should be, though.
Yeah,
light heavyweight, cruiserweight.
Yeah,
and that's again why I'm like, what's taking you guys so long? 5 minutes? Don't make me come in that cage.
So were you at that Wilder Fury fight?
I was not.
Oh,
so this is funny. A lot of people will say, "What did you think of that fight?" Or "What did you think?"
Yeah.
So that they can tell you what they thought. You know, it's like, wait.
Well, this interview is about you, not about me.
No.
So I want to know.
But I've been
you
getting
think.
that all week. Like, what'd you think? And then they go on for 5 minutes. Like, you could have just said, "Hey, can we talk about that?" All right. So to answer that, boxing is show business masquerading as a sport, calling itself a fight. Okay? So the business of it was amazing. You took two guys that don't have the recognition they should.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And found a way, and two styles that are unappealing. Like both of them to watch. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you know? And you've doubled their fan base and tripled their money. So the business of it was amazing. Sport, I think, is stupid. Sport is like childish arguing. Here's your opinion. Here's my opinion. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, I don't. We hack the sport. So my fighters fight. And we'll tolerate the sport so we don't go to jail. And then the business is what it is, and we get paid to do it. Mm-hmm. So we found a way to survive in this society. So that being said, who won the sport? I don't know. I think I can see why it was a draw. I can see why people think Fury won.
Yeah.
I can see why people think Wilder won. Who won the fight? Fight's not over.
That's true.
Wilder was closer to winning the fight, but I'm okay with it being a draw. I really am. Yeah. Where people get stuck is the difference between amateur boxing and professional boxing. Professional boxing, the difference is the point of professional boxing is the knockout and effective striking, but that's subjective. What's effective?
Yeah.
So how many of Tyson Fury's punches are we disregarding? Right? These flicking jabs. Well, some of those were even illegal because you're hitting with the wrong fight.
So we had a bit of a technical difficulty there, Rage. But
I broke the phone, broke the camera.
You were talking about
calling me ugly. I was talking about
the jab. The jab.
Fury's jab. You know, some of them technically were illegal. Yeah. All of them, in my opinion, were ineffective. So that's where the subjectivity of the sport comes in, right? But that's also an important part for the business. Right. If you don't have people with their opinions and they're arguing and they're back and forth, then you don't have
right.
Then you don't have the story to sell. You don't have the ticket sales. You don't have the pay-per-view. I don't like Fury's style. The herky-jerky, pitter-pat. Max Halloway, literally 100 pounds lighter, does more damage than Tyson Fury.
Wow, dude. He looked incredible, by the way, man. What did you think of that performance? He looked incredible.
So Brian Ortega's Blackhouse, right? He's one of our boys, right? So that broke my heart, right? That's the other thing. Like, I will lose all objectivity and be completely biased. My teammate is my teammate. Fuck that. I don't care.
Gotcha.
I don't care if Brian Ortega is fighting Deontay Wilder. That's my boy.
Gotcha.
I'm with him, right? And I wanted more of that from America with Wilder.
Oh, big time.
Like,
big time. Holy
that's
shit.
our champion.
Yeah.
That's the American champion, and boxing is better when there's an American champion heavyweight.
Wow, man, I couldn't agree more with that.
Right? So I just want that blind, patriotic, that's our guy. That's our guy.
Like the people over in the UK have.
Like, exactly.
Like Fury's people have.
Right,
Who came
exactly.
flying out
Or
here by the thousands.
Connor's
you know?
people.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I think we're going to see that next time around. But, you know, come on, man. USA.
I agree.
So we were talking about Max Halloway. Yeah, it hurt me to watch it. His takedown defense was better than Brian's takedown ability, and that's what, right?
Yeah.
And his striking was technically not great, but it was so fast, it didn't matter. You know, he does a lot of technically weird things, like flaring the elbows up, and but like I said, he hits harder than Tyson Fury.
Rage, man, I appreciate your time so much, my dude. Incredible interview. I feel like we could probably go on for another hour here. Is there anyone you want to shout out before I let you go here, Rage?
You know, I think we covered it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say thank you to Blackhouse MMA. Just incredible things happening and letting me be a part of it. I'm very, very grateful for that. I also want to say a shout out to the Rock Boxing Gym and Team Hanks. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram at the Rage Ing. And Rage, R-A-G-E, and my last name is Ing, spelled N-G. And I have a YouTube channel with boring ass lectures. So if you like science and you want to learn some real shit, check me out there.
And what's the YouTube channel?
Just type in Raging.
Gotcha.
And you'll see this ugly mug.
Well, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you, brother. We'll be back with you soon because you were entertaining.